with Mercy Valkyr, about to speak with Isambard. Continuation of story quests. Camp Drybone, Unsolved Mystery. Let us get right to it then, Minfilia. Minfilia names the Minfilia names the Amalj'aa culprits in all this. You would do well to investigate them first. Don't trust this. Much harm has been levied on these lands by the Amalj'aa hands. The flames burn where they might, but their light cannot stay the darkness in all places at all times. There have been brutal murders of callers at the church of Saint Adama Landama. Innocents wishing no more than to pay their respects to the dead. The poor souls deserve a proper burial. I would see to the deed before mongrels catch their scent, but I know not if the Amalj'aa still linger. Would you secure the remains for me, friend? You will find them on the eastern road. 12 willing, you may even come to learn something of what the Amalj'aa seek in this area. Maybe. And then there's 2 ways to get out of this. Like I said in the last video, there's ramps. You just gotta figure out what side of the map, what side of Camp Drybone you want to come out on. And then figure out which ramp gets you there the fastest. The bestest. What's funny is, my camera looks like it is even. It looks like it's showing an even field as far as capturing my body evenly, so it doesn't look like I have a hunchback anymore. But the screen looks like it's tilted this way a bit to me. It's not super bothersome. If I had a webcam that could rotate, that'd be nice, but I don't, so it is what it is. Did I just use up all of my... So we just killed a couple Amalj'aa. They look like... They got super buff torsos and chests. Well, chest is part of the torso. Arms. They are like all black. They kind of have predator dreads. Like from the movie Predator. Kind of have a predator face a little bit too. But kind of a thick face. Scary teeth. Lot of them are mages. A lot of them are spearmen. Some archers. But those 2, I think one was a spearman and one was a caster. Back to Isambard. It is good to see you returned. Were you able to secure the remains of our fallen? Remains are always depicted as flowers. For some reason. With the bodies given back proper to the earth, the souls will find their way access to the other side. You have done a noble deed this day, I thank you. Now then, what of the Amalj'aa? Did you see any? Surely such massive monstrosities as they cannot conceal their presence, much less take their quarry unawares. Ah, so they were Amalj'aa remaining after all. There were. I feared as much. Their part in the low-born disappearing is all but confirmed, but I sense there is more to this than meets the eye. The occasional Amalj'aa raiding party would not account for people going missing in these kinds of numbers. The total is too great, and the questions too many. I would not surprise me in the least to learn of another hand in this. But whose? Countless travelers pass through Drybone every day, and even if it were one among them, how would we best discover who may be implicit in these vanishings? Unsolved Mystery is complete. Isambard has another quest. What poor people think. What say we turn an eye to the common folk themselves? It may be among them that we find the reasoning for these vanishings. 12 forbid it be so. There is a merchant by the name of August who was born here in Drybone and grew up in the Golden Bazaar. A rough character, but he knows the people here better than anyone else. I'd wager he's at the inn, quaffing away the day's earnings. Here, I'll write a note for you to show him, else he's not like to speak to you. Quiff it a quaff it. I go tit for tat with. August is Oh. He is the man from Infantolin who was threatening the White Robe Lady. So he's kind of got like the mohawkish, pompadourish black haircut with really trimmed sides. Red undershirt, black vest with some white stripes and diamond kind of symbols on it. And dark pants, dark shoes. Of somewhat tan complexion. I can't... Hold on. Well, gods be damned. You're that bloody adventurer who threatened me back in Amalj'aa. What in the seven hells do you want with me now? Hand him the note. Dear friend, missing people, please help. Yours, Isambard. Folk around here are as wary as they come. They'll turn tail and run if you so much as pass wind nearby. Played them all for fools and coaxed some hard labor out of them, I did. If anything, you're even more timid than before. What with all the They're even more timid than before, what with all the disappearances. You can go talk to him yourself if you don't believe me. Thanks for the help, bro. Hungry beggar. Just picture a downtrodden... I mean, not that poorly dressed, honestly. The tunic looks fine, the pants look fine, but... Please, miss, just leave me be. Okay. Devious derelict. A Lalafell. Same clothes. I've nothing to say but this. Thalteku, or whatever's been feeding off us low folk. Okay. Petrified pauper. Another human, downtrodden, same gear though. What do you want from me? I didn't do anything, I swear. Please don't kill me. That was never the plan. Oh, bum 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 bum. Back to Ungust. Just as I told you, wasn't it? The whole lot of them are terrified. There's been talk of folk getting abducted, but if you ask me, they simply up and moved on to a better place. This place isn't exactly Costa del Sol, if you know what I'm saying. Good. It's a good hiccup. I do good voice work. Back to Isambard. Shika boom boom. Welcome back, Mercy. Have you learned aught of import? I see. I suppose you have sort of expected as much from Ungust. Well, another thought occurred to me in your absence. The common folk are nothing if not fervent in their religious beliefs. Perhaps if they speak freely to their gods, then the clergy may know something of use. Okay. I'll take some gold or gil from you because I got no need for the rest of the gear that I've already got way better than. Isambard, quest number 3, a proper burial. If we would know what the common folk speak of to their gods, we've no better place to ask than at the church of Saint Adama Landama. It is a small and humble church found to the northwest of here, and so long as you are headed there, might I ask you to deliver this embalmed corpse. A morbid request, I grant you, but it must be borne to burial, and I trust none more than you to see it done. Seek out a man named Marques, Marquess, Marquess, maybe? He tends the graves of the Lichyard. He will tell you where the body is to be buried. Interred. Well. This time, since we're going north, we take this ramp that's to the east, and it is a wooden ramp, not really well kept or maintained, but it is functional. And I'm probably using my sprint a tad too late, but going uphill a bit more, there's a little bit of rocky terrain, some hills that you kind of go around, and now we've entered parts of a graveyard. And taking another bend around a corner to the north, and Marques is outside in the graveyard. He is a black-robed figure with white facial hair. He's got the beard, the mustache, the sideburns all the way up. That's all you can see of his face, and he's just wearing a black robe that covers everything else. I am Marques, yes. A body? Of course. There have been so many bodies of late. I apologize, miss. If you seek a place of burial, then there's an empty grave atop the ridge. Take the path and lay him to rest there. Okay. So now I'm running between two tall cliff faces. And at the top of the ridge, there is a larger gravestone and a gravesite. And like I said, all corpses are flowers in this game. They are buried with the click of a button. I'm very oh, I have to go back up, sorry. And now you can see a corpse on the ground, which I have put rocks on top of. Yes, literally. So there was a corpse on the ground, I clicked it, and rocks are on top of it now. But the corpse disappeared, so maybe it got put in the ground somehow by clicking on it. Back to Marquess. May they all walk in Thal's realm. What? Missing people? I'm afraid I cannot help you. But maybe Sister Orsen can. Ourcen. Orsen. She has been kind to me. Everyone has been so kind. I don't know why, though. Pardon me. You will find Sister Orsen within the church walls. Okay. Boop, 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 boop. Orsen is a white-robed woman in church. Can't see much of her face. I hear you have done us the service of burying a fallen soul. Please accept our gratitude and extend it to Isambard when next you see him. You seek knowledge of missing Drybone inhabitants? It is true I am closer to the people than any other of the order. I confide in them, and they in me. When they wish to speak to their keeper, Thal, I am the medium through which they do. Should I learn anything pertinent, I will be sure to share the information with you. I only wish Marquess would be more helpful in the matter. I pray he did nothing to offend. He saw terrible things during the calamity. His scars run deep. Indeed, he seems now to prefer the company of the dead over the living. While tragic, I fear such behavior ill befits the church. I received word not long ago that one of our recent visitors, a man called Thancred, I believe, took offense at his conduct. I must have words with Marquess, and soon. The church we entered is small, only has like 6 pews, I guess they're called, benches, and a couple other, there's a bunch of chairs also around the room that can be moved, obviously, to be made use of. Pop sprint, run back through the graveyard, take a little bit of a shortcut, taking some jumps. Gonna go off some sick jumps. You can jump these fences, but it is tough. You gotta time it right. It's not that tough. And you can jump all the way down here, and it's a double jump. It's a double jump. Don't triple jump a double jump. What the heck? I've never been stuck here before. That's weird. Get away. Stickers. Let's see. I don't think the next quest is very long either, but we're back to Isambard. Thank you, Mercy. A burial is no easy thing, even when the departed is a stranger. Were you able to learn aught of the missing common folk? You've been keeping yourself rather busy of late, haven't you, Mercy? Says Thancred, walking up. A pleasure, my dear Isambard. The name is Thancred, and I share a passion with you and our mutual friend here for learning what has become of these missing persons and why. I, too, spoke with Ungust more times than I care to count. There seems to be some truth to this notion of the common folk speaking their secrets only to those in service to the gods. Prostration, prayer, penance, abject deeds done behind closed doors, away from prying eyes. Who better to take the pious unawares than she who takes confession, the good sister Orsen herself? Orsen? Says Isambard. She wouldn't. She couldn't. Even the most beautiful roses have thorns, my friend, and you would be wise to keep an eye on this rose. Still, the Lich Keeper Marquess. I'd swear to the 12 I've seen that face elsewhere before. End of quest, a proper burial. I don't need any of the gear, so we'll take a... Ooh, 2,500 gold. Sweet. Or gil. Keep calling it gold, because I'm used to... D&D, it's gold. In World of Warcraft, it was gold. In all the Final Fantasy games, it's gil, though, so I don't know why. It just looks like gold pieces, so... Another quest, level 19, for the children from Isambard. Sister Orsen, it cannot be, though she is wont to travel to the Golden Bazaar on her own, and it is not uncommon to see her speaking to the children, but no, it could not be. Could it? I grow wary of these suspicions. I know there is one child in particular that she is fond of. Pray, seek out the boy, Mercy, and see if you cannot glean something from him about Orsen's activities. We are supposed to go north, so we go to the ramp to the east here. Actually, there's this part too. I never really take this, but I think it's probably faster. Yeah, So there's another ramp just to the east of the eastern ramp that is less roundabout and taking you north. And probably south, actually. Maybe I should take that from now on. And then after go north for a bit, we are turning to the west. Still just plains kind of land, dirt. There's a lot less green here. All the grass is about the color of the dirt. Some bushes that are slightly green, mostly brown. Some bushes that are green, but like kind of a tame green, not vibrant. Some rocks and cliffs and larger rocks that you can kind of, like the size of a house. And up here is called the Golden Bazaar. Get a Chocobo Keep so we can ride to and from here easily from now on, if we so choose, which we might. And there's there's a few buildings, some stalls for displaying wares, and it looks like a lot of room for other stalls for people who might display their wares in the future. And we were talking to an uncombed urchin. Please help! Sister Orson went out all on her own and hasn't come back. She always reads me right here about Thal and the Order and the other side. I told her I lost my shiny thing, and she went looking for it. But what if the monsters outside hurt her? Please find her. So we're heading east. I'm gonna sprint. Why not? It'll come back by the time I have to. So I described the porcupines that look like they've mated with lizards. They're called tuco-tucos. They're here as well. They're non-aggressive. And Orson is in the middle of a big purple circle, which means there's a fight about to happen. A rotting mage and a rotting pikeman. They're humanoid, and I would assume, since they're called rotting, they might be undead. They were very pale at least, but they were wearing all black, so it was hard to see many of their features. Orson is kneeling on the ground, panting heavily. You were the one from the church. Thank goodness you arrived when you did. It seems my gratitude is yours yet again. You spoke with the child? Yes, well, I was able to find his lost trinket. It is a ring given him by his mother before she passed. I will see it safely back to him. We are going all the way back to Drybone. I'm just going to spend 100 gil to teleport there. Because it really will not matter. But saving time does. Back to Isambard. Sister Orson was attacked outside the Golden Bazaar. Gods forfend. I will secure a room at the end for her should she require any rest. Searching for the memories of, searching for the mementos of orphans, and risking her own well-being in the doing, no less. Certainly not the dastardly deeds Thancred would have us believe. I do not need either of these pants, so I get another 400 gil. Let's do the next one. Amalj'aa, wrong places. Amalj'aa, wrong places. Of all the wrong places. Nice. Amalj'aa, wrong places. Amalj'aa, by the way, is spelled A-M-A-L-J apostrophe A-A. I am well glad I reserved that inn room for Sister Orson. It seems she received greater injuries from her attackers than she initially let on. Thankfully, she is expected to make a full recovery. But now, on to the matter at hand. Thancred came looking for you once more. He left word that he will be waiting at the Amalj'aa encampment to the southeast. I pray the two of you are able to uncover some evidence regarding these disappearances. I'm gonna use the secret tunnel. It's not so secret. Oh wait, no, okay. So I learned something. You do not want to use that tunnel for going south. You can only use the ramp to the west. Well, I mean, you can use the ramp to the east as well, but then you have to circle back quite a bit. And we all know how bad circling back can be, especially if you say it over and over and over again, and then never circle back. I'm not talking politics, we're talking politics. This portion of Eastern Thanalan is slightly more lush, slightly. It's raining right now in the game. The rain is slanted at a 45-degree angle also, so there must be some wind. Must be the money. There are some giant sheep. They look kind of like a mix between sheep and rams. They are called My Outrageous Nanny. Not kidding. M-Y-O, Myo, or Myout. So M-Y-O-T, Myout. R-A-G-U-S, Rageous Nanny. N-A-N-N-Y. Outrageous Nanny. I thought that was fun. Thancred is waiting. Ah, there you are, Mercy. So good of you to come. Indeed, I've heard all about good Sister Orson. Isambard said her wounds were serious. It would seem my suspicions about the poor Rose were misplaced. But false though they were, perhaps my suspicions were not entirely without merit. Whilst following Sister Orson near the Golden Bazaar, I found a band of Amalj'aa caught my eye. I tracked them as far as this encampment, but, well, let us say that I would much prefer to keep my distance and remain here. This, of course, brings me to why I requested you, dear Mercy. Would you be so kind as to take a look inside? I've seen Thancred fight. I don't know why he needs my help for this part, but go in, get aggroed by some level 18 Amalj'aa, a Lancer, a Hunter might do it. Nope, I'm behind him. Another Lancer. They're called Javelineers, actually, and for them. There's a queer leaflet, which is like a rolled up parchment on the ground. So they're really broad chested. They actually have long tails, kind of like a dragon tail, clawed feet. They wear very little armor, kind of more just like a, what's it called? Kind of a loincloth. A little bit bigger than a normal loincloth, but a loincloth nonetheless. And then they have kind of, I said predator dreads, but if you imagine the predator dreads kind of going horizontally back from the back top of the head, and then gravity takes over from there and takes them down a little bit. That's kind of more what it looks like. Back to Thancred. Well, did anything tickle your fancy? Tickle your fancy? This leaflet. See the wealth of knowledge to the hands of your children. It looks to be some sort of assembly to provide the poor with work. The lettering, though, atrocious, is it not? And these bits about Nald Thal seems somewhat less than studied. I find it hard to believe one among the older penned this. Pray take this to the inn at Camp Drybone. Let us see what Sister Orson makes of it. Okay. Sprint. Today I have I should be doing Uber right now, but I had to take my car in because it needs an oil change. And the brakes, ever since Midas put new brakes on, have been very high-pitched whiny when I use them. And then towards the end of a braking period, like when I'm starting to slow down more and press on the brakes more, it can sound a little bit grindy. And for new brake pads, that shouldn't be happening. But Midas never really did anything about it, so I've taken it to a recommended... Oh, there's a Chocobo Keep up here? Oh yeah, I didn't get one when I got here. So grab this guy. I couldn't have used the other one anyway, I guess. We are going into like the very far west part of Camp Drybone. Built into the wall is basically like an inn, or it's kind of like an inn. I guess we've reserved a room in here for Lady Orson. And Thancred is here with a couple kids as well. My savior comes again. To what do I owe the honor this day? Hand her the leaflet. What is this? Blasphemous. These are not our teachings at all. This was not made by any true brother or sister of the order. Of that I can assure you. Come to think of it, weeks ago the church was plagued by missing garments. Could someone be posing as a priest of the order to deceive the people? Thancred. The plot thickens, Mercy. Our culprit pretends to be a priest to lend credence to his deception. There's no doubt an irony in there somewhere. But I suspect we have a worthy adversary on our hands. I shall consider how best to handle this. For now, tell Isambard what we have learned here. I'll end this quest and end this video because it is long enough. It's almost 25 minutes. It will surely be more than 25 minutes after I'm done talking to Isambard. Or done talking for Isambard. Posing as a priest, to think. These troubling notions aside, it is gratifying to finally be able to move this investigation forward. Thank you once again, Mercy. I shall keep my ears and eyes open, now more than ever. Once again, I do not need the gear, so I get 500 gil. End of video. New one coming very soon. Later. That was dumb. I'm so sorry.